In a word, vocally healthy behavior means the minimal effort to achieve any sound. Actually, it's a few words. But the point is this: minimal effort. What does that mean? Well, think of effort like cash. Think of effort like money. So if I were to buy this water bottle and I'm thirsty and I'm desperate and I'm on the road. So I walk into a store and what I do is I tell the clerk, I will give you $20 for this water bottle because I'm desperate. And the clerk, of course, goes, sure. And he takes my 20. Now another consumer comes in, not desperate, not thirsty, looks at the water bottle, sees, oh, I would like that water bottle, and goes up to the clerk. How much do you want for this? Well, the clerk gives him the real price, of course, which is only $5. But this guy goes, $5? This thing isn't worth $5. Listen, it's late, you're about to close. How about making another sale? Give you $2.50 for it. So the clerk thinks about it, takes the $2.50, closes down the shop. Both people bought the exact same water bottle. I paid $20 for it because I was desperate, and the smarter guy paid $2.50 for the exact same water bottle. If the water bottle were sound, that would be the extra effort that I would feel obligated to apply for a high note, for a loud note, for belting, for being aggressive, for singing long. And it's absolutely not warranted, but your body's not going to tell you you paid too much. What it will say the next day is, we paid too much. So in the moment you're doing it, it seems like the necessary behavior to trigger the sound. But at that moment is the moment you should ask yourself, can I get this for less? And what that means is, think of this as sound. We're only talking about sound no matter what genre, no matter what style, no matter your age, it doesn't matter. You're still just singing sounds. When we talk about sound, we're only talking about 4 attributes, no matter what. There is the pitch of it, there is the volume of it, and there is the timbre of it. Now, timbre is a catch-all word, an umbrella term, which means the way a sound begins, the way it ends, how it sustains, whether it has vibrato or not. So that tone of the voice is very important to the listener. I'll explain that later. And then the 4th is the duration or the rhythm of a sound. And so as we sing, we are producing these sounds with obviously parts of our anatomy. There are the airflow, which triggers it. There is the larynx right here where the sound is produced. And within that, there are the 2 little vocal folds, right? I'm sure you're at least aware that your vocal folds are here. And those are the little vibrators that produce the sound. And then the sound is enhanced elsewhere by any of these open air spaces in our body, creating what's called resonance. And resonance is simply a resounding of the original vibration. Additional vibrations are added in. Now, going back to that word timbre, I learned really early on in my life, like when I was a kid, that timbre is a vital aspect to communication. Because when I would be snarky with my mother, she would always hit me back with, "Don't you give me that tone of voice." And what that meant was, if I said, "I'll clean my room," but I said it in such a way, that was my power as a kid to kind of push back. So I was making a clear statement to her that I was being a wise guy. Yet if you wrote down what I said, "I'll clean my room," you'll say, "Wow, what a good little boy Mark is. He said he would clean his room." So this is exactly how every listener receives our voice. They hear the pitch of it. They assess the volume of it, if they can hear it or not, and the timbre then goes to work, because there's a lot of information in the timbre of a voice. And so they are extracting that information as we sing, and when that timbre is linked or appropriate to the sentiment of the song, boy, they are going to believe you are feeling that. And so we have, in this path of vocally healthy behavior, a pursuit to make sure that every sound you make is intentional, that every sound you make is a choice. And here's where vocal training comes in. There's going to be a wealth of knowledge, many, many exercises in this whole platform for you to choose from, but it's all under one heading. Am I able to make choices, artistic choices, with my instrument based on what pitch I want to sing, what volume I want that pitch at, what timbre would be appropriate for this circumstance? and how long or what the duration would be. Those aspects can be challenged separately in what I refer to as vocalizing, where we challenge just the basic behavior of the instrument, and then we apply those behaviors when singing as a communication to our listeners. This is a vital aspect of being vocally healthy because there is a lot of unhealthy behaviors which are very popularized in a lot of different genres of music. And I work with a lot of singers that make very aggressive sounds. And I say it that way because their goal, of course, is to survive their success. So in order for them to tour or replicate a very aggressive sounding song night after night after night, they have to apply that ethic of the minimal energy it takes to make the sound. So whether their arms are flailing around and it looks like they're really hollering bloody murder, the fact is they're only giving their vocal fold the minimum effort it takes to achieve the sound. And for you classical singers, I will say sometimes bad behavior is hiding in plain sight. That because we're making a plain, clear sound, that doesn't mean there's not excess friction in there. And so it is just simply, you're always asking the same question. Can I get away with doing less for this exact same sound? It's not a sacrifice of sound, not saying you have to adhere to a certain genre or style of singing. You'll be yourself, you will just do so efficiently. So to review, you're going to use the vocal exercises provided in this platform to enhance your ability to achieve any pitch at any volume with any timbre selected, and those would be independent functions. Why? Because you are vocally healthy.